In today's episode, I'm going to be showing you how and where best to install a fire extinguisher in your race/track/road car. Yes, that's right. Today we're going to be looking at fire and safety equipment, but before I do any of that, it cannot have escaped your attention that this car is filthy. Engine rebuilding is a dirty business, so before we start in on any of that, I have got to throw a bucket of water over this thing. Okay, now that I've got that out of my system, we can get on with the real reason we're here, which is fitting that fire extinguisher. Got to admit, she does look a lot better when she's clean though. Okay, so when you come to installing the fire extinguisher into the vehicle itself, the main thing you want to think about is reach and accessibility, i.e. how can I get to this thing as quickly as possible, which if there's a fire you're going to want to do. Now if, like me, you've got a multi-point harness in your car, and if you've got a road, race or track car, then chances are you do. There aren't many options in terms of being able to reach the thing without undoing your harness. In our instance, what we're going to have to think about is if I have to stop in an emergency to put a fire out, I'm going to have to undo my harness, lean forwards, reach down and grab the fire extinguisher and then crack on and put the fire out. Now in this case I think the best place for it to go is down here in the passenger footwell somewhere, so let's get down there and see what our mounting options are. Okay, so here we are down in the passenger footwell. We've got our fire extinguisher here so we can see where best it's going to fit. Ideally, like I said, you want it somewhere that's easily reachable, either by driver or passenger, so somewhere like here or here where both can reach it nice and easily. Where I'd like to mount it is on this raised bit of floor here. Issue with that is this seat adjuster is in the way, so I think I'm going to have to edit that first. Okay, so I've pulled the seat out of the car so as to make it easier to work on. So what we're looking at is this adjuster handle for the sliders here. As you can see, it sticks out way too far. Now I do want to keep the seat adjustable because it is a daily driver as well, so I don't want to fix the bucket seat in place. What I'm going to do then is cut this off as far back as I can get away with, and then weld on a different handle so that the seat can still be moved, and I can then fit my fire extinguisher where I want it. There we go, so that's trimmed that down nicely. All I need to do now is I'm going to find a piece of flat bar, drill a hole in it, plug weld it onto there, and that can act as the handle. Doesn't need to be anything special. Okay, so I've had a quick route around my scrap pile. I found this piece of flat bar, so I'm going to use this to make my new handle. Okay, so there's my little bracket. Probably radical overkill for this, as it's literally just to adjust the seat, but I fancied making something. So that will go on there. Be able to hammer that on a little bit. I'll just blob some weld in there. I'll put a nut and bolt through there as a handle, something to pull on. May not even need it. Should just be able to pull on that, and the seat should adjust. And then we can pop it back in the car and get back on with fitting that fire extinguisher. Okay, so I'll put the seat back in. As you can see here, this is what I've done. My little handle there is probably way more effort than any of you would ever go to install a fire extinguisher in a car, but that's just what I'm like. You can see it's given me an awful lot more room than the original has done. I may get rid of this, but for now it works perfectly, it does the job. So let's get on with installing this red thing. Alright, so to start with, I've removed the fire extinguisher from its mounting bracket, and I think it's going to go somewhere here, like this. Although I think it's probably best off going that way around, so that when you reach down for it you can just grab the top end and pull it out like that. So Yep, I think that's pretty good, so we're going to go with that. Mark that there and there. Okay, so we've got our mounting location sorted there. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to centre pop and drill those holes, and then I'm going to tap them out just to accept a bolt, because I can't get to the underside and I don't want to weld any studs in. So I'll go and get the drill. Okay, so I've had a rummage round and I've found some appropriate bolts that I want to use to fix this thing to the floor. They are M8 by 1.25, so I've been through my tap and die set and found an M8 by 1.25 thread. So I'm now going to attempt to tap these holes. Same on this side. That's my holes tapped. Let's drop those into place. There we go. There we go, that's the bracket in place. Let's pop the fire extinguisher in. So when you're all finished, this is what you should end up with, a nice neat install, out of the way of the passenger's legs, but easily accessible by the driver or the passenger should there be any need of it. Thank you for watching 100% of whatever you just watched. If you like this and you'd like to see more, subscribe to our YouTube channel, Speedy Bill and Friends, follow us on Facebook, Speedy Bill and Friends. I'm on Instagram, SpeedyBill92, so if you like what we're doing and you want to see more, comment, like, subscribe. There's plenty of updates, we're always doing something. Come along for the ride. That'll do.